Wow, that was so easy. We're live. Welcome
Right.
anyone who comes into this live stream with us. I'm going to start the moment with a candle. And know that this is a sacred space that we're creating here, even though we're connected through the internet, we're connected through these streaming services, and you can watch this later. But if you do watch it later, and if you do watch it later, you will still get the healing and the manifestation that we're dreaming up right now in this time together. Isn't that right, Augustina?
Yes, this is an eternal space, and you are in the hands of the utter best. I can say D.Lisa has helped me manifest my very moment. So I wish that for everyone here. This is literally the energetic new year. So we're going to release everything. I feel that so massively. There's a lot to release, and we don't want to take anything old with us right now into our new manifestation. I think that's where we're going to start, right? Is releasing. So we're not manifesting from a place of lack or hurt or grief. Would you like to start with some writing?
I would love to agree with you on that and wait for some people to show up. My screen says no one's watching yet.
Goodness.
But what does your screen say? I wonder how people do this. They just go live for 10 minutes and then they do their thing, or they go live and they, boom, go right into their thing. I'm unclear. However, we could start with you talking about the planets because isn't something going into, wait, Saturn moving into Capricorn? Is that good? No, it's not. You're going to tell me.
It's actually moving out of Capricorn to Aquarius. So, yeah, that is a big deal in terms of ushering in the absolute new. So, it's actually in keeping with everything we're doing here. So, the energy is such that people are favoring, everything that Aquarius represents, which is innovation, which is new big ideas that nobody has seen before. Think of Nikola Tesla. To me, he's kind of the quintessential Aquarian. I mean, his ideas are still showing that a lot of them are still hidden because they were so advanced. But basically, he knew about electric cars in 1930s, so he knew that we could have the internet. So if you think about that, it's really favoring the innovative, the bold, the new, and the fresh, and that will last for the rest of all of our lifetimes. It's a very long transit. So the shift out of Capricorn is great. It's just more about habitual ideas, things that are already established. So that is coming on November 19th. It's huge. It's going to favor the bold and the fresh. That's yeah.
Let's talk about numerology and how 1111 is a portal to manifestation.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was just reading for an incredible woman. She got the Four of Wands as her outcome, and as you can see on the Four of Wands, the 1111 is represented. So this is it's a chuppah in the traditional Jewish tradition in terms of having a celebration and a wedding, but it represents the portal to success. So this is a card of success and celebration. So with 1111, we're ushering in an absolute success energy. So there's something where we're kind of proving to ourselves that we have completed something, right? You can't get to success without completion. And this is a card of completion. So you can kind of see it here represented literally. So I think that the portal that we're in now is about looking everything you said, looking at where we've been, knowing that it's complete, that's really powerful, right? Release. No resentment, so you don't take that into the next thing. But yeah, I think the portal of 1111 is about release. We want to cleanse ourselves before that happens, right? We want to, because we manifest at the level we're at.
That's so beautifully put. And gosh, now that I say that, where's that thing I was going to read? I want to invite anybody who's listening and watching this later to remember that our mind is filled with 70,000 thoughts per day. We have 70,000 or more thoughts every day. And if there aren't any thoughts in our mind, the mind just fills it up with negative, repeatable thoughts from yesterday. So most of the thoughts we have, or 95% of them, are repeated thoughts from yesterday. And pretty much none of us want that. So here's a prayer from Ernest Holmes. Fear is the great enemy of man, he said. It is impossible for a person to do his or her best if they're filled with anxiety. Unless we live without fear today, we will dread tomorrow. Those who live in the dread of tomorrow generally harbor memories of things that were unpleasant in their previous experience and expect that more of this unpleasantness will transpire in the future. Yesterday is forever past. We cannot relive it. No matter how we may regret what happened yesterday, it is impossible actually to live it over again. But too often in imagination we do live it over again and again, and in doing so bring all the misery of yesterday into today. Learn to forget yesterday. After we have learned our mistakes, the thing to do is correct those mistakes and forgive ourselves for anything we've done. We must rise in the morning filled with buoyant hope, joyful anticipation, and the natural enthusiasm and zest for living that we all need if we are to get the most out of life. And so it is.
So beautiful. D.Lisa is so perfect. Yeah, exactly what we're saying. I mean, and that really is the beautiful part of every single moment, is that we have free will to make it fresh, to forget the past. And it's incredible how much we can keep continuing on with the same experience by reliving it, right? We've all been there. So I think the big cool thing right now is to make a choice almost as if this is the actual new year, even though it's, but kind of in the way you make a New Year's resolution and people never stick with it. But what if we actually stuck with a new thought pattern, even just one tiny little notion about ourselves? And I think you were saying before, what can we do if there's a certain fear we have, or a negative opinion of ourselves, or a recurring thought pattern? Is there a way to flip it today and literally change it? That can be a very revolutionary thing. I think a big thing is people often say, "Oh, I'm terrible with money." That's a very common one. So you can literally, you'll think you're crazy at first. You won't believe it, but you can literally say, "I'm a money magnet." It's possible. No one's going to put you anywhere in jail for that. You can just literally do it, and it takes the power and the surrender that there might be something bigger than you that will help guide your belief about yourself. I think that's always the clincher, is why would I believe this? Why would I go there when I have no evidence from the past?
Even if you do have evidence from the past, that thing I just read is all about letting it go. So in the past, maybe you fell down a few times or didn't go where you wanted to go. Maybe that is something you shame yourself over or worry about. And maybe it was a blessing. I heard something today that was really cool, from a guy that I follow and I've met in person, Light Watkins. He teaches meditation and he has a podcast. And he said, I didn't know this, I didn't listen to this podcast, but I will now. He said his father, who was a lawyer, went to prison for 5 years because of something he did not think he did wrong. And while he was in there, he started helping these other inmates because what he found was they were often pressured to take a plea deal. The people didn't really look at their case that carefully, and some of them were in there mistakenly or should be out early, etc. And while his father was in prison for 5 years, he helped 48 prisoners get out early. And he says that it was the best work of his life. Imagine thinking that going to prison was the best 5 years of your life because you did your best work. He probably didn't think that when he was going in, but that's what he thought when he was coming out. So sometimes we have something happen, we don't like it, yet we look back on it and it's like, oh, that was good. That got me here. But what I want to do today, and I'm going to invite Augustina to talk a little bit more about numerology and astrology if she'd like to. And then we'll move into a meditation, sound bath, and let you release what doesn't serve you anymore and create what you would love as if this is the brand new year, 11/11. So take it away, Augustina.
Well, one thing I did want to, I love what you said, and that's an incredible story. And in the astrology, I'm not a numerology expert, I will admit, but I read a lot of tarot cards and it is connected. And I'm noticing with my clients and just with humans and in the astrology with this shift into this new energy, releasing the old guard means releasing the old stuff. Our whole planet is kind of going through this huge cleansing of karma is a big part of the astrology now. And I'm noticing so many people are getting their karmic justice. It's like the karmic payout is coming now at this end of the year, especially because Mars, the planet of action, is going retrograde, where you usually have the truth is revealed. So you're having a lot of people get that big payout from something unexpected. So in the case of this man's father, right? He wound up this, it's like the temperance card in tarot, it's alchemy. It's like something really, really negative becomes this huge positive. And so a lot of people that are experiencing court cases or issues with their employer, I'm noticing it's leading them to a promotion. It's leading them to this huge financial payout. It's leading to them getting their problem solved. And I think that the only thing that you have to do right now to really release and receive is to advocate for yourself. So that man in prison didn't sit there and do nothing, right? I mean, and in a way, he was advocating probably for himself on some level because it helped him feel better, right? To help others. And then, as we all know, the devil's in the details. So he went in and he found the shoddy work, and then that led to all this. So I think for everybody, if you feel that there's some injustice in your life and you truly know in your soul that you deserve better and that you truly know that somebody, something needs to be seen by a higher force. I'm looking at the King of Swords right now. The truth needs to be seen. Do it patiently, do it from a mellow place, and advocate for yourself and take one step, as D.Lisa you always say. It's that first little step. And that's the signal to the universe, and then you're going to be on your way with the chariot. You're going to get what you need. It's just showing that you really believe in yourself right now. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So I'll invite anyone listening to imagine 3 things that they would like to let go of. Maybe it's a habit, maybe it's a person, maybe it's a job or a home. And while I'm playing the sound bowls, just let whatever flies into your brain settle and imagine what you would like to let go of. Just for now. Don't imagine what you'd like to take on, just what you'd like to let go of. I'll play the sound bowls for about 5 minutes. So you can have a 5-minute meditation. At the end of the time together, in the 5 minutes, I'll ring this bowl 3 times. And that will settle us back into consciousness. Thank you for listening to the sound bath, and I hope that your mind pulled up 3 things you're ready to let go of. And now I'll put it back on Augustina's.
D.Lisa, I have never heard you do a sound bath. Ojai has been good to you. My goodness. That was incredible. I didn't expect what I experienced. So thank you. You're really good at that. I wasn't expecting to release a resentment. I wasn't expecting. So powerful stuff. I really hope whenever you're watching this, you get to experience that and have. So I think it's really important. Especially anything in our lives that gave us any sort of resentment, we got to let that all go right now. And I hope you feel as fresh and clear as I am. And our hope with doing the sound bath first was that now that we're going to manifest together, you will be a vessel that is like completely fresh, almost like a blank canvas. Because as we age, we take on a lot, but we can clear ourselves every day. We can become fresh. I love reading for young people because their energy is so different. But I read for some adults who, and it is meditation. That's the key. You can become new every day. And certainly if you do a sound bath, not as much in New York here, so I'm very happy right now. And what we're going to do now, everyone, this is a very powerful way to create the future. And I'm a tarot reader, and everyone wants me to tell them their future. And that's the first thing I say is I don't do that because guess what? You can't. So, to quote the great Joe Dispenza, the best way to create the future, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So we have free will. I tell the story all the time of being broke in Syracuse, New York, with no car. And I've been living here in the center of Manhattan for a year now by the grace of a pineal gland meditation. And I swear by it. And I'm going to give it to you now. So the only thing I'm asking you for is to surrender your doubt and cynicism. Because you have to experience it. And I know you're here with us. You're gonna get that thing. And this isn't about being selfish or greedy. This is about creating your best life so you can be a force of light and change, and that's going to help everyone. Okay, so this isn't about some kind of ego thing. So are we ready to do a short meditation? D.Lisa, you're ready. You've got, do you have your vision? Okay, good. I think
I don't think we invited people to have their vision yet. We just invited them to let go of what they don't want anymore. So go ahead and guide us into that. And I'm very excited to hear about this pineal gland meditation.
okay, yeah, I think I bit I went a little far. The chariot's always with me. I'm just rushing sometimes, but yeah, the vision is important. Um, I think the best thing you can do is the first thing you see when I say your perfect day. What do you see yourself doing? I think the best thing is to start with just a vision of yourself. And we're going to close our eyes. And the woman I just met with, a vision came to her mind very quickly. And no one's going to see inside your brain. So as we close the eyes, and we want to make sure that our feet are flat on the ground. So if you can get into a seated position, your spine should be, not overly, where you're straining, but we want the energy to flow up the spine. That's really key. So when you're seated, you just want to make sure that you have a straight spine as best you can, given whatever you're doing in your life. And if you really can't sit up, lying down is just fine. But we've got our right palm and our left palm and our thumbs connected. We're just going to let that settle down into the lap. Gently closing the eyes, and I'm going to just let you feel into just what it's like to sit here with your closed eyes. And the vision may not be at the tip of your mind, but I'll say it again with the eyes closed as you sort of feel into the breath and let it be natural. When I say, what is your perfect day? Just let the mind show you a vision. And if you don't see yourself in the vision and you just see a place, that is completely fine. Start to begin to look at the breath. And if I say, bring that vision to mind again, maybe you do see yourself somewhere. Let yourself see yourself somewhere. Most likely, this is the vision of yourself that the people who really love you and support you always tell you they see you as. And if you haven't had that experience, then it's what you allow yourself to be. If you were a kid and you said, "What is my ideal life?" And you don't have to share it, but I just really invite you to hold it for one moment because we're going to manifest it through the third eye very shortly. So, some kind of a vision of you doing something. Don't worry about the details of how you got there, how it's possible, the timing. Don't worry about any of that. Just see yourself doing something great that you would love to do. All right, beautiful. So now we are going to begin to be more intentional with the breath. So right now, the breath might be doing whatever it wants, but soon enough, we're going to be guiding it. So we're going to be inhaling through the nose. So right now, I just like you to make sure that you are inhaling through the nose and not the mouth as you're in this peaceful state. And I'd like to just segue over from D.Lisa's releasing to give ourselves a chance to do one big cleansing before we start the manifestation. So no one can see you, no one can hear you except for me. And I'm going to do it with all my heart and soul here. And I'm going to inhale through the nose as much as I can, the big, deepest breath I can. And then I'm going to release it out through the nose. And as I do, I'm going to see all of that old stuff flowing down through my body, down through both of my legs, and then releasing out through the soles of my feet into the earth like black ink. So, as a segue, just drawing up those things you release, let's do that one more time. Release them together before we start. So, a big, deep inhale of those 3 things you released during the sound bath. Bring them in through the nose, hold them for a second, and then say, go away. That's one quick way to release in the universe. And then let yourself exhale. Watch everything flow out the body through the soles of the feet into the earth like black ink. Another thing you can do that my mentor taught me is just say, stop it. If there's anything that you feel you would like to release, you can just tell that energy, stop it. It's not as hard as, doesn't take a huge ritual. Okay, beautiful. So now here we are. The past is gone. So now we're going to be more intentional with the breath and we're going to anchor it at the base of the spine before we begin. The attention is at the base of the spine. And we're going to be inhaling for 5 seconds. If this is too much for you, just do it at your own pace. If you're more seasoned, you're welcome to do 10 seconds, even 20. But I'm going to do 5. And as we inhale, we know that we are creating the future with every step, and we're going to beam it through the third eye in a moment. So bring up that vision of yourself, prepare the breath at the base of the spine. Here we go. Inhale for 1, through the nose. 2, watch the breath rise up through the heart. 3, shoulders go back. 4, 5, now hold the breath and put the vision between the eyebrows. For 5, watch it beam through the third eye. 3, 2, 1, and now gently through the nose. 5, release. 4, 3, through the heart. Down. 2, 1. Very nice. Good. So we're going to do it again. Now the pineal gland is located at the back of the skull. So it's basically if you were to send a rod through your third eye, but a beam of light through from your third eye back through the back of your head, that is where there's this powerful force, of energy within the self where we can undo old programming and create new programming is the best way to say it. So in this moment, I'm going to be asking you to beam through the third eye, but at the same time be aware of the back of your skull. And this may take a few tries or it may not happen right now, but that's okay. So we're just going to be doing the 5, 5, 5 again. So preparing at the base, getting ready. Here we go. Inhale through the nose. 1, the breath rises up through the spine. 2, 3, heart area. 4, back of the neck. 5, now hold the breath. Now try to do that simultaneous awareness, vision from both sides of the skull. 3, 4, 5, and then exhale through the nose. 5, down through where the breath came. 4, 3 through the heart. 2, 1. All right, so just give yourself a moment. I know that might have been a bit strange to have the dual awareness, but it is a very powerful tool. And if at any point in your life you just want to meditate and focus on the back of the skull, that can also be very interesting. It's not a place that we often put our attention, and it's a power center. And I think the seasoned meditators will know that starts to become more active the more you meditate. All right. So this time I'm going to ask us, this is our final manifestation moment. We've got that same vision. Maybe it's become a little more decorated, you have some more people in it. Maybe you're starting to create a story. Maybe you're hearing music and going along with your vision. Maybe you're starting to just get more detail. And I invite you to try to go for 10 seconds. Inhale, holding, and exhale. Do not push yourself. It's too much. But I will invite people, and this time we are going to rise the breath up from the soles of the feet. But again, if 5 is your max, just start where we were at the base of the spine. All right, so here we go, everybody. Take the breath from the base of the feet. Inhale through the nose, 1, 2, up through the knees, 3, up through the thighs, 4, up through the stomach, 5, rise up through the heart, 6, through the chest, 7, through the shoulders, 8, neck, 9, into the skull, 10, and then hold that dual awareness. If you can, the front and the back of the spine are alert and active as they beam up to the skull. See that vision in your third eye. You're almost there. 5, 6, feel this kind of energy beaming out from the back of your skull through your third eye. 8, 9, great if you made it. Now let's exhale through the nose gently. 10, 9, watch the breath go down through the heart. 8, 7, 6, 5 through the thighs. 4, down through the knees. 3, 2, and then release back into the earth. Whew. So good job if you did the 10, 10, 10. That's called pranayama, which is a Sanskrit word for just controlled breathing. It's very powerful. It's a great way to manifest. All we need to do is place a vision in our third eye. And one thing you can also do at other times is just a single word and just repeat it. But we went hard for the 1111 portal. So good job, everyone. And I know it can take a moment to come out of meditation. You might want to get some water, but don't open your eyes right away. Just let yourself be for a minute and meditate on your prosperous and beautiful future. Can't tell you how many times I've been so grateful that this has worked. It's incredible. And you just need that one time it works, I think, to validate it for you. Then you'll tell everyone. So just make a promise to yourself today that you will not try to say no when the thoughts come in. That's not going to happen. Just stop thought. Because you just got your doctor's prescription here and it's going to happen.
Thank you, Augustina. That was so beautiful and so powerful. Really, really, really loved it. I have in my notes here some words from Jean Houston. And if y'all don't know who Jean Houston is, she's quite old now. She's quite accomplished. And she said this: when were you most alive? Get in the feeling of that. The other note I wrote down here is like, stop boring God, she said. You are the latest products of the galaxy, the cosmos, the God beingness, the quantum field, some would say. This vision is longing for you if you have a vision. So stand in your power and be who you came here to be. Don't be boring. Don't be afraid. Stand in your power and manifest what you would love. And we've given you a couple of tricks. One to release what you don't want anymore, and one to accept what you would love, a vision that you just had out of your own mind's eye. So great. So great. So on the 1111 portal, the portal is open. Dream big. Yes. Do you have any final words, Augustina?
Do you mind if I just pull a quick tarot card? Hey, babies. Oh, man, that was quick. Oh, yeah. All right. So, everyone, this is the thumbs up card, the Ace of Rods. This is yes to all of your visions. This is the fire. This is the spark. This is the beginning. This is perfect. This deck, Morgan Greer, beautiful. She's so spot on, this little guy. So, this is a yes. So, thank you. I want to say thank you. Yes, D.Lisa, for dreaming up this whole idea. And then we could also say this is like a 1. So, 1111, right? So we are here. This is the beginning. I love thinking of this as the beginning. So we can release the past, and we have. Anything. And this is you, the Queen of Swords, baby. And this is how we should all be. We should own our truth. And I love what you said. Don't bore God. Don't. Can you please just show up to your own life and be this soul who is staring right into the world with force and drive? Beautiful. This is you.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for you doing this, Augustina. I think we should do this again. Yeah. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and to your dreams. Oh, by the way, Augustina, do you want to tell people how they can find you?
I would love that. So I have an Instagram page that I'm trying to share more widely. I just kind of started it. So I'm Tarot for Gold. So the word tarot, the word FOR, and then gold, GOLD. Just Google Tarot Gold. Hopefully you'll remember that. But yeah, my non-predictive readings have been called Tarot P. So if you'd like a spiritual solution to your earthly problem that is a little bit like therapy, but with a bigger dimension to it, I'd love to read for you, and you can find me. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being here. And yeah, everybody, you all know how to find me, D.Lisa Dream Doula, on all the socials. And thank you for being your best self, all the people that are listening. Sending you love.